Hi, welcome back. So we are started discussing on Ansible automation training with hands-on with use cases. Thanks for your support for Cancer NGO initiative program. Those who joined newly, please go to the homepage of YouTube channel. Click the join button and you can participate according to your wish. If you are going to be the learner, join the first membership program. If you also want to contribute the Cancer Children program, you can subscribe the other 3 membership. Let's go inside today. Before going to today class, you go to homepage, click Ansible Automation playlist. There are 21 classes already released. Please get on the lab and practice before you start today class. As part of today class, it's a continuation of yesterday roles class, Ansible role. We are going to discuss about Ansible role with other example. As I stated, you go to GitHub Cloud and Loud for Ansible automation repo. Today class 22 folder, right? So you come down. So we have discussed about the role structure, folder structure, task handlers, files, templates, vars, defaults, meta, right? So you don't need to memorize this folder structure. You can use Ansible-Galaxy init and the role name. It will create this folder structure, which we seen the class 21, right? Come down. As I stated, to do this hands-on lab, you need to have one master node, which is Ansible server, one managed node 2. So there is a 2 nodes. From Ansible server, if you do Ansible space all space -m ping, you should get green color ping pong, right? Let's go inside. First, we will go without roles. I want to update my servers. Say, for example, I have thousands of servers, right? So if you go and execute this, so instead of all, let's go with node 1 so that it will not take much time, because yum update, it will take a lot of time, right? So let's copy this. I'm going for my, so I am into ansible.cfg folder, say patching.yaml. So I'm going to say VIM patching.yaml. Then you copy this playbook. I'm going to say this one. So instead of all, we will go with only one machine, one node 1, right? So let's go Ansible-playbook and then patching YAML. Let's enter it. If you want, you can go to Ansible node 1, say SSH node 1, and then you can say sudo su, changes the root. Then let's write tailf var/log/messages, right? So if you go here, automatically it will go and refresh what all it's happening in the backend. So let's wait for a few seconds so that the yum update will start happen always. See here. So the update it's started, yum update all. So yum update means almost it will update all the packages across this machine node 1, right? So this will take time. So without role, but every time you need to go and use as a standalone playbook. This is a standalone playbook. We cannot reuse it, right? So you need to copy this playbook to any person or any environment to execute again. So if you create this as a role from any environment, from any user, right, who is using this Ansible environment, they can simply call this role and execute it as per their need, right? So let's I'm going to stop this because it will take a lot of time, because M update, you know. So now we are going to create another playbook this also without role, right? Assume you updated everything. Now you need to reboot. Remember, you are not doing this in one single machine or two machines. You are doing in hundreds of machine environment, right? So each machine you need to reboot, and you need to also ensure the machine is started up and running again, right? So if it is a one or two machine, it's okay. But if you think your environment is having a huge number of servers, then Ansible itself, you are expecting to do this and confirm all the servers are up and running, right? You can even add the mail, you can add the notification, everything. But this is the simple idea. So restart system, reboot, because m update also will update if there is a kernel latest, right? So you are saying sleep 5 and reboot, and also asynchronous. I will explain what is asynchronous. And pause 0. Asynchronous means, say for example, this task 1 or play 1, if you think it will take some agreeable, say 5 to 10 minutes, or some allowable, you know how much time it will take as per the testing, right? So async 1, it will wait that duration. And pause 0 means automatically this task is started, right? It will not wait, automatically it will go and start execute this. So what is the next task? Is it will wait for 10 seconds. And again, what is the next task? It is for again wait for some time, because the server reboot will take time. So the playbook should not go and throw error and should not exit, right? It will wait, it has to wait. Then it has to go and install the next package. When it will execute, after rebooted, this will execute. If it is executed, then that means the server is up and running without any issues. So let's go and copy this, right? I'm going to say patching, and I'm going to remove everything and insert mode, and then I'm going to save it and execute this playbook. So when you say execute, automatically I'm going to come out of node 1, ping node 1, enter. So it started pinging, right? If you execute this, automatically what will happen? So it will wait. So the server is getting rebooted. So you are clearly said the server is getting rebooted. Wait for the system to be rebooted. Automatically again it's getting response. So then it will start to install, because since it's a Google Cloud VM, it is the turnaround time is very quick. Okay, if you have any local machine, you can try, but only thing is which environment you are going to apply. Accordingly, you need to decide this seconds, right? So this is how you need to plan. Okay, so this is standalone playbook, this is standalone playbook. Now we are going to discuss about Ansible role, how to achieve this. But before going to that, there are a couple of parameters. Async, say for example async 1 or async 180. That means this task you are forcibly saying 180 seconds only I can tolerate. If this task is not completed, then come out. This is the way you can save a lot of time from the failure missions, from the not reachable missions, from any technical issues occurring during any implementation. Otherwise, Ansible will have a lot of performance issues. And poll 10. Polling means you are giving some task, say either install or configure or remove it or anything. So polling 0, it will go and check the same task after that interval. If you say 10 and again after 10 seconds, it will go and say check this. But if you say 0, it will start this task immediately. It will go to other task, start execute. It will not wait till this task complete. That is a false zero. So this is how you need to fine tune Ansible in your environment, right? So come down. So we are going to install Nginx without role, right? So I'm going to copy this. So what is there in this playbook? Using M module, I am installing Nginx as a latest version, and index.html we need to copy, and we are copying to template module, and we are copying to node 1 in user under share directory, under Nginx directory, under HTML directory. This file will be copied, and we need to restart the service because we are copying some configuration file. So we are restarting it. So when we restarted, right, whenever there is a change, we need to call the handlers, right? We seen in one of the class, right, handlers. So automatically the control will be transferred to handlers. This is the standalone playbook, right? Let's see, before we split this as a role, we will go and copy this playbook. I'm going to say vim nginx dot yaml. I'm going to paste it, and before that I'm going to ensure the handlers are same indent. So in order to avoid any surprise, right? So if you go and see this, there are local variable. If you don't want to local variable, we have discussed in one of the class how to set up this global variable. How do you set up this global variable? If you don't want to set in local variable, then go to the inventory file and you need to mention this all colon vars, right? That means all groups will be applicable. Any group of servers will be utilize this variable. So it's up to you, but we are not trying to here on variable. We already discussed it in one of the class, but here as part of roles, we need to keep compare and study standalone playbook and via roles, right? So we will save this, and Ansible -playbook, Ansible, there is a typo mistake, Ansible. So Ansible playbook, and then nginx.yaml. So we are installing Nginx and restarting the service and copying the index.html using standalone playbook, right? So we will get some error. We'll wait. See here, I am now going through standalone playbook. So it's throwing in the current directory where the YAML file is there, the playbook is there, there is no index.html. So we need to create index.html. So what is there in the index.html? I'm going to copy the index.html and I'm going to save it. So the index.html will be created, right? So this is the variable we declared in the playbook, right? So now if we execute, we will not get any error because where we kept the playbook, the same directory also index.html is there. So it will copy and it will work, right? So now come down. So as I said, the global variable, right? So come down. How do you achieve the same playbook? Via role. So role means, reusable. Anytime anyone from any directory, from any login, simply call that role. All you need to do is that role directory should be accessible from everybody. Means, the approved users, right? So I am going for roles directory. Before that, we can remove the Nginx Ansible all -m command -a because just now is installed, right? So the installation is done. So we will remove it so that we can do it again via role. M remove nginx -y and then enter. So the nginx will be removed from node 1 and node 2. Yes, right? So node 1 is removed. Node 1 and node 2. So I'm going for roles directory, cd roles, and then ls. There is an empty directory. So what we are going to do is Ansible -galaxy, right? Initialize. What is the role name? We are going to do nginx_role, right? So I'm going to give nginx_role. So we will go with a tree. So as I said in the last class also, the directory structure is created, but this directory structure and inside these files are empty. If you go to check, this file is empty. If you go and check this file, empty. If you go and check this file, it's empty, right? The reason is in first couple of versions, to be frank, we need to create all this directory structure manually, right? Now everything is on the fly, or as long as you run this command, the directory structure will be created, right? Now come down in the standalone, right? What is the task? This is the task, right? Till this task, see here, till this is task. So I'm going to copy this, but before that we are going for a task main.yaml, right? Task main.yaml, and then I am going to keep the cursor in insert mode and delete this. Otherwise, when you paste, everything will be hashed out. So I'm going to copy this. Again, I'm going to show you this part till handler part. You are going to be the same. I'm going to split it out. See here, the same. I'm going to copy. I'm going here. Say, see, the index.html. But as I said, reusable roles. Where we have to keep this index.html, that is where we are going to say it. So let's go here and first to save this and clear this. So let's go and say tree. There is a files, right? So there is a files directory. So in this files directory, if you are not using template copy, then go and keep it. Go to this step, come down, see here, nginx roles templates, right? So I'm going to keep the templates because there is a variable which we have to on the fly, it has to replace and copy, right? So keep that file under templates directory. So let's copy this templates directory under index.html. Go to insert mode and copy this. I'm going to copy the same, right? And say save and exit and come down, and nginx role handlers. Go to the standalone playbook. You remember in the handlers you have section like this. So now handlers is the directory. Now whatever you mentioned here, this task or play one, this task one or play one has to be inside handlers directory in main.yaml. So I'm going to either copy this or I already mentioned again this one. So I'm going to copy this, come down. So let's go and be editor. So I'm going to again see here inside handlers directory, there is a main.yaml. I'm going. So come down, insert mode, and going here and say copy this and go here and say paste it, right? So the same, I'm not changing anything from the standalone playbook. I just split it as per the role how you need to create, right? Now defaults, why we need a defaults? If you have any variable value declaration, right? So go here. So go here and then go to insert mode and then declare that variable. What variable you have to declare? Type underscore of underscore web server. Why? Because you mentioned that here index.html, right? So copy this, which we seen in the last class also, single URL and multi URL. So save this. So now we have created, say I'm going tree. See here. So we have created a directory structure, and the defaults we declared the variable, and templates we have created index.html, and meta we don't have any dependency. So then it will go to task we have mentioned all the task, install it, restart it, and call the handlers. Then it will go to handler, and then the service will be restarted. Before service restart, it will install, it will copy index.html, then the handlers will be called out. The same. Now the advantage here is why we are going for a role. If you keep this directory, the roles directory, this roles directory somewhere where or TMP, I'm just giving an example, right? If I keep the roles directory here, right? So user one, Vijay, right? I can also access this directory, right? So if my Ansible.cfg roles underscore path pointing to this, still I can able to use this role. And there is another user coming into night shift. This user logging into his login and going to his home directory, and there is an Ansible.cfg he is keeping. So if he pointing to this roles underscore path to this directory, then still he can able to use it, right? What if I keep this roles directory in my home directory? Others cannot use it because others doesn't have permission to my home directory, right? So that is also one of the reason most of the time, most of the projects roles will be keep in common location according to the environment wise. Say they will have roles for development in one folder, roles for SIT, roles for acceptance, roles for pre-prod, roles for production. Because as long as you keep all the roles in a particular location, common location, right, everyone will have access, right? So I am going to come out of the roles directory, right? Where is my roles declared? Ansible.cfg. See here, roles path is here we have declared, right? So now I'm going to say nginx.yaml. You don't need all this. Delete everything and go for an insert mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simply say this one and go here and say paste it. So instead of this, what I'm saying is you can edit. Let's edit it now itself. Come down. I'm going to save this, commit changes. So come down. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going for remove everything, insert mode, copy this, right? So now I'm just calling the role name. That's it, right? So instead the host, because our hosts are node 1 and node 2, right? So let's remove this and say all, right? I'm going to say WQ save it. If you want, you can also update in the GitHub also. There are still there are here and there typo mistakes. so that when you practice, you should not face any single issues. So let's come down. Okay, instead of this, you can change if you have a different name. I have node 1, node 2, but I want to do everything, so I'm going with all. Now you need to execute the role, right? So let's see what happened. So I'm going to say nginx. So there is some mistake. So nginx. Okay, so there is a host. So here I can say name host all. I can say save it. So let's check the syntax. -check. So there is no issue. So let's execute it. So if you execute, what will happen? It will happen the same, but now via roles you are implementing, right? See, the nginx is getting installed in node 1 and node 2. The index.html also getting copied. So let's go and check the index.html. I'm going to say ssh node 1, right? So where we are copying it, sudo su, where we are copying it, user share nginx html. So I'm going for cd user share and index.html. See here the nginx page, right? So it copied and taken the variable value and replaced and put it here, correct? So it's working, correct? So let's go here, cat nginx. Let's copy this and go here, replace it, so that there is a one more typo, hyphen also will be removed. So come down. So there is a replacement. Now it will work. If you just copy paste and it will work, right? So now my question is, what if I move the role, move roles directory to var temp, right? So where is the roles directory? Nothing is there, right? So if I execute again the playbook, I will get the error. So it's trying to check that declared directory, it's not there, right? Because it's somewhere else. Simply go to your ansible.cfg and make sure you are pointing to right roles path where it currently available, right? What is there? Var temp roles. That's it. This understanding, if you have, the roles is very easy. Now if you execute, it will work, because as long as your ansible.configuration, your environment, right, pointing to the right role path, your whenever you call the role, it will go and check that roles directory. If it is there, it will start execute, right? So you no need to keep copy index.html in every user who is executing, because it's a bundle. Now one more thing I just want to show you is cd var temp roles and nginx, right? Tree. So if you place here, so in this we have configured only the variable defaults directory. We have configured handlers. We have configured task. We have configured templates. We never need this because it's empty. We never need this as per this current scenario. We never need this. So simple. If you want, you can keep the empty stuff, or rm-rf, right? Files, whatever you don't need, you are not using, simply get rid of it. Meta and say test and say vars, right? Enter. So now you do a tree. Defaults, yes, we have declared. Handlers, yes, we have declared. Task, yes, we have declared. Main.yaml and templates, yes, we have kept our index.html. So now come back the home directory and go to the dev and execute the Ansible playbook. Now Nginx, still it will work. Why? Because if you want, you can keep the empty stuff or get rid of it. Better if you don't want, or if you are not using that logic, whatever directory, because we are creating directory structure because we don't want to memorize every time. So let it create. While creating using Ansible Galaxy, it will create the whole directory structure. But once you configured, once you tested everything is working, please remove all other directories which you don't want, because that functionality is not there in this logic, right? Stay tuned. We'll come up with more hands-on in upcoming classes. Thanks for your support.